of the reasons that we're doing this show today is to celebrate the release of Playmates Toys' new line of Godzilla vs. Kong action figures. A bunch of toys coming to a Walmart near you. But even beyond the MonsterVerse, Godzilla, Kong, and company have a proud history of killer collectibles. And before I go any further, I want to say if you want to win some of these awesome collectibles for yourself, well, you're in luck. We have a giveaway going on right now on Nerdist Twitter where you can win a gift pack including the 11-inch classic Final Wars Godzilla and the 11-inch Godzilla vs. Kong giant Kong figure. They're a must-have for any discerning monster movie fan, so shoot your tokusatsu on Nerdist Twitter and you might just walk away a winner. Yes, I said it and I regret nothing. So let's get back to one of the best parts of any fandom, all the awesome collectibles, the stuff that makes my wallet weep a single tear when it realizes what I've just done, the stuff that scratches our collecting impulse. So what is your favorite Godzilla, Kong, kaiju, monster collectible that you've encountered? Now, Chris, I want to start with you on this one.
So not so much like my favorite, but to me, they're really, really fun and cool. I brought them out as a little bit of set dressing. We've got the Godzilla sake decanter that was released in 2004. Toho released it in conjunction with, I guess you would call it distillery there. But then to partner with that, the King Kong decanter from 1976, both of which were emptied well before COVID started. So I'm not worried too much about that. But those are some of the more fun things that I have. They're just good conversation pieces.
Yeah, I mean, like, have you ever considered refilling them with anything else, or do you want to keep them kind of pristine?
I'll keep them as clean as they are now. Like every so often, I honestly have not washed them because you can still smell, I guess, what was in there. But yeah, then we were talking earlier about like obscure things, and I have to say some of my favorite pieces are these canned Godzilla meat and Mothra eggs.
I want to know how it tastes. Is he delicious?
They came out in 2004, so
I don't want to know how it tastes.
Them too.
Look, I'll put in a call to Legendary to see if we can get a fresher batch of Godzilla meat and Mothra eggs using the 2004 recipe. But Rosie, I see that you have a wealth of collectibles as well. Do you have a favorite one that you've encountered over the years?
Over the years, it's probably still like those weird old lamps that I've personally encountered. It was like a big Godzilla figure with the lamp in the mouth like that. I still, even if I need to find someone who will custom make it for me, that was like something that really made me love Godzilla. But personally, just being able to I always remember Godzilla figures being so expensive and I could never afford them because they were imported. But we were driving across America like last year, and I went into like a Walmart in, I can't even remember, like Colorado or something. And I bought this guy for like $12, like a Mecha Godzilla, and this guy. And they had a whole series. They had some really weird, I think it was like 3 or 4 were the first one. But yeah, I behaved and I only bought Godzilla and Mecha Godzilla. But this always makes me really happy because it's like light and it's movable, but it feels like the old toys, even in a way that I'm probably not going to be able to get my hands on those old ones. So those they make me very happy to have them in my house.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I don't know. It's hard not to look at one of those things and smile, especially when you see some of the older sculpts. You're like, oh, look at his little face.
Yeah, so much little face.
Yeah. I got to say, with some of these, the new toys, I was pretty impressed with some of the sculpts they have there when you see them up close. Nice little details they have there as well. But Jessica, tell me, do you have a favorite kaiju monster collectible that you've encountered over the years?
Yes, I have several. And for those who cannot tell from my background, I have not unpacked. I moved shortly before COVID, and then COVID hit. One of the things that I really enjoy that Chris has much more stable hands than I do is the Godzilla sake. And Chris and I know that it was actually signed by Kawakita shortly before he passed away. And it was like limited to 3,000. So mine's is safely tucked, but Chris, to write off his coattails, he actually showed it. I also recently, because it was actually sent, this is a kaiju collectible from Mighty Jax. So he's eating ramen. It's from Mighty Jax, and it was pre-ordered a year and a half ago, and it finally came. Because anything with food and kaiju together, I absolutely am in love with. And this one is material I'm not as scared dropping on the ground.
Mhm.
And it's got like a little tower and everything inside. So there's actually a nuclear version, which glows in the dark, I think. Don't quote me on it. That one's also up for pre-order. So this one just came in, and I just really loved it because it was something a little bit different. Also in my boxes is Godzilla toilet paper that goes along with a Godzilla toilet paper holder.
Fantastic.
So-
Is it shaped like Godzilla's head?
Yeah,
or is he
it's
just like
him.
holding
He's
it out
holding,
for
yeah.
you?
Yeah, he's holding, and then the toilet paper has, printed images of him on
Yes.
there. I see it as more of a decorative, but earlier during our COVID, I was like, I don't want this to be emergency supply. I want this to keep as a souvenir.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I think hopefully the runs on toilet paper have come and gone, pardon the pun. But I feel like I love that there's so much silly merchandise out there and like weird tie-ins because, once a fandom reaches sort of like this global audience like Godzilla has, you start to get some weird things. Like I saw when I was doing some research for the show, I believe it was over on Sci-Fi, they went on eBay and looked up a bunch of Godzilla merchandise. And one of them was a blanket that depicts Godzilla just under the water, and his like dorsal plates are the iceberg that the Titanic was moving towards. And I was like, what is happening
Even that
here?
blanket, it's incredibly strange.
Yeah. But before we move on to the trivia, I just want to ask one last thing. Chris, since you are so deeply embedded in this world, is there a like holy grail of collectibles that you are seeking, or is there like is there a super rare collectible you can tell us about?
There is as life size as you can get, so about like 7 feet tall or so, statue that you can order from a studio in Japan, I guess you could call it. That thing's pretty cool. That's actually outside of Toho's offices at the bottom floor at their office in Tokyo. But for me, like one of my grail items is a model kit company named Kyoto came out with this kit, and it's based on the 1989 version. And it's called like the big guy, 89 or 91, one of the two, I forget. But it's the big guy. They call it the big guy. And it's like 3.5 feet tall, like 7 feet long with the tail. And, as a kid, I always wanted the giant, aircraft carrier from G.I. Joe, but no room for it. As an older kid, I still don't have room for anything like that. So one of these days I will get that kit, and I will have my friend Steve put it together for me and paint it, and it'll be good.
Fantastic. Now, Jessica, don't unpack anything else. You still have time to fit that 7 foot tall statue in your house. I'm just putting that out there.
Yes. Actually, I was going to say it was a 2016 article from Nerdist that's where I saw the same thing Chris was mentioning. It's like 6'4". It's $40,000. It doesn't tell you how it's going to ship to America. And there was only like 10 made. So that one was also a holy grail for me as well. I do have a Batman and Darth Vader life size. So I feel like he would fit the holy trilogy
Yes.
trifecta if I were to get him, but
Home
is not that big.
That's
He would
the
own
movie
the-
coming after GVK. So that's
Yeah, when
the
the
future of the
corporations have to
Monsterverse.
know.
You heard it here first, exclusive.